I know, you know, I'm on fire. If you don't know who I be, you better ask somebody.
Alright, Gimbo White here. I just want to talk about a couple of different things, mainly Strikeforce, mainly the fights Saturday night from Strikeforce, in which Nick Diaz just owned Frank Shamrock and owned me in my predictions. So I'm never one to beat around the bush about the fact that I got on Fight Night 18 too, man, big time. You know, I was I think 2 and 3 on my picks, 2 for 5. So bad picks for Kimbo at Fight Night 18 and Strikeforce, but I just there's a couple of things that I found really interesting when I was looking at this event up on the internet. Out of the $634,415 payroll for the entire event, half of that went to Frank Shamrock, $369,000 some odd dollars out of $634,000. Okay, half of the payroll went to Frank Shamrock, who got his ass beat. I maybe somebody could explain to me why the hell this pay scale is like this, but I don't see anything making it make much sense at all. Nick Diaz owned Frank Shamrock, just basically punked him out, and he got $39,950. $10,000 of that's a win bonus. So that means no matter what, when the fight started, they said we're going to pay Frank Shamrock $370,000 and Nick Diaz $30,000. Now, granted, Frank's a big name, but damn, man. Since when is Nick Diaz not a big name in MMA? I know he's not Frank Shamrock name, but the pay scales in the UFC are never have this much of a gap between the two. Now, main event guy and a lower card guy, preliminary card guys, yeah. Preliminary card guy make 10, 20 grand, and a main event guy might make $250,000, depending on what event it is or who's fighting. Yeah, man, that happens, and that happens a lot. But that, you know, that's understandable. But this is a fact where these two guys are both in the main event from the get-go. One's going to get $370,000, one's going to get 30. And then if the guy that's going to get 30 wins, he only gets 40,000, and the other guy still gets 370,000. 370,000, man. That's more than big name guys in the UFC normally make off fights. I mean, you're talking that's as much money as a GSP or a BJ Penn fucking gets. Okay, Frank Shamrock is not worth that. These guys are fucking insane. Now, to make it even weirder, Scott Smith won his fight, Melendez won his fight. Both damn good fights, both awesome fighters, a couple of my favorite fighters. Scott Smith's tough as nails, man. But these guys both got 50,000. I mean, man, Diaz might be trouble, man. He might be a smart mouth, but I tell you right now, man, he don't deserve shit into the stick like that. It's bullshit. Brett Rogers got paid as much as Nick Diaz. Alright? Brett Rogers got as much as Nick Diaz. Nick Diaz won the main event of the evening. And to top it off, the icing on the cake, Ron Humphrey got $3,200, and Hitomi Akano, they gave this poor girl, for the ass whooping she got handed, $1,450. Now $1,450 probably didn't buy her a fucking ticket home. You know, what the fuck, man. I don't know what's up with that, but Diaz gave Shamrock a hell of a beating. Beat his old ass like, and I didn't, man. The whole time, you know, I picked Frank, and I thought Frank could beat him. Frank still impresses me for an old guy. And I thought the whole time, man, this is going to be crazy if Nick comes out and does Frank like Tito did Kim. And it wasn't quite that bad, but it was a dominating performance. He kept holding him back with his hand, and like a little kid, and Frank kept trying to get around his hand, and he just punched him in the face with his other hand. It's pretty crazy. Rogers, I want to see Rogers go ahead and get Kimbo. I've heard about the Kimbo Randleman stuff lately. I don't know if they ever made that official, but they didn't advertise it for the next Strikeforce event. So I want to see Kimbo quit dodging Brett Rogers. Brett Rogers has been calling him out now for years. Brett Rogers called him out with the James Thompson tap at his press conference. All you MMA fans have seen that. You know, James Thompson, clearly Kimbo started the tap, and a lot of people say it was thumbs up. It is questionable. It looked to me as if he started the tap and then didn't tap. Never made contact with the body, but kind of started to make the motion. Brett Rogers felt that he tapped, called him out on it. Kimbo never gave him the fight. Of course, Lead XC ended up going under, so Scott Smith up as hell. We need to see the Lawler rematch, and Gina's gonna beat the hell out of that ugly Cyborg. I tell you what, Cyborg, she's tough as hell, and she honestly carries herself fairly well too. She doesn't have a bad attitude, but my girl Gina's gonna whoop that ass, and we're gonna see that. If not June 6th, we'll be seeing that, you know, before the end of the year for sure. I can't remember if they're gonna do that June 6th or not. So that's basically it for the Strikeforce review. You know, those pay scales to me ended up being the story of the night, because to me it's a bunch of bullshit. But overall, I have to say, overall I give the card probably about an 8.5 out of 10. I have to say. It was a good card. It was an exciting card. Turned out to be better than what a lot of people thought it was going to be. So, yeah, everybody have a good night. It's been the last word with Kimbo.